The FDA has authorized a third dose of the COVID-19 vaccine for some immunocompromised people. For one Mississippi woman, it means finally being able to hug her nephews. Dr. Sanjay Gupta reports.
39-year-old Kimberly Cooley got her second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine back in February. She hoped at the time it would be a game changer.
I knew that there was a possibility that it would not work for me, but given the situation with COVID and the pandemic, it was definitely worth the try.
She lived her life, hugged her nephews, felt free once again. But then
I went to a local clinic near my home and requested a antibodies test and received the results, and I did not mount any antibodies.
it wasn't a surprise for Kimberly because back in 2018, she had had a liver transplant and now takes medications to suppress her immune system so her new liver isn't rejected. Unfortunately, that also means she is immunocompromised. Her immune system has a much harder time making antibodies after receiving the COVID vaccine.
We really don't have an immune system to fight off the virus. And so, it's kind of a open game.
A study of over 18,000 fully vaccinated transplant patients like Kimberly found that relative to the general population, they were 82 times more likely to develop a post-vaccination infection and 485 times more likely to be hospitalized or die from COVID-19.
I have to really be cautious about going into crowds and who I'm around. Every single move I make regarding my life is calculated.
In addition to her already high risk, she lives in Mississippi, one of the least vaccinated states in the country and one with high transmission of virus as well. A risky mix, one that leaves her with little community protection to feel comfortable enough to connect with her young nephews.
It's just too risky. I mean, with my being a transplant patient, they almost lost me once, and I don't want to put myself in a position for them to almost lose me again.
We're already seeing clinical trial data on solid organ transplant patients where a third dose of one of the two-dose regimens may boost their immunity.
This is what Dr. Amish Adalja is talking about. Look at this graph. In transplant recipients who received the standard 2 doses, they developed some antibodies. But after a third shot, look what happened. The antibody levels went way up. And this is why the FDA is now authorizing a third shot for the roughly 9 million immunocompromised patients in the country.
At this time, only certain immune-compromised individuals may need an additional dose.
But none of this necessarily means that another shot will be recommended for everyone else.
What are you looking for as maybe some early clues that we would need booster shots?
I want to know what's happening to these patients clinically. Are they getting breakthrough infections? And are those breakthrough infections clinically significant? Meaning, are they severe enough to land them in the hospital?
For now, the vaccines continue to protect most of us very well against severe illness. As for Kimberly, though, her own doctors have already signed off on her getting that third shot. And when she can,
that will be the first thing that I do is go see my nephews and sneak that one more hug in.